clarification. Right now, the system is that the state sends a fixed number of dollars per student to the school systems, and that includes charter schools. And they also basically give you an allocation of how many principals, vice principals, administrators go along on a per student basis. That's all set by the state, i.e. it would be in theory under control of people like Ross, but it's not under control of the school board. There is then a second pot of money that comes from the county commissioner's control, which effectively comes out of your property taxes. And they pay a supplement to teachers. And so there's a small amount of money that's added to that. So that's where most of the finances are currently configured to come from. So the county commissioners can't affect that except by sending more money and raising your taxes. The school board can't really affect that. They're kind of constrained on how they can move that money around. They can't take salaries from teacher X and give it to Y very much. So they've got lots of things holding their hands. Can I get another question? Just break in for a second here. I don't think it's fair to use local teacher salaries compared to national averages. Local teachers or teachers in the whole state don't have the costs that you have in New York City or Chicago. I agree. The real comparison you should make is between us and the other southeastern states, in that we come up pretty poorly. Our entry-level teachers are second lowest paid, just above West Virginia. But our senior teachers, the ones with a lot of experience and a lot of tenure, are the second highest paid, just behind Georgia. So that's kind of the basis that you have to look at that, compared to the southeastern United States. The average is not that good either. So anyway, the question starting with Kathy is the question of the expert in the room, Elaine. Is it true that the charter schools don't have to take special needs students and so on?
I'm not an expert in charter schools, but it is true that some schools have elected not to teach certain groups of youngsters. For instance, I don't believe our own charter school has a free and reduced lunch. They don't offer free and reduced lunch, so they don't have a free and reduced subgroup. So don't take poor children.
So they don't take poor children.
So they don't. If your child needs free and reduced lunch, that's not an option. You would probably not apply there. In charter schools across the state, you know, there are certain youngsters whose handicaps require certain forms of education. And if a charter school does not offer those programs, then those children aren't in those schools, and that makes a difference in performance. So if you choose not to offer an ESL program, that makes a difference in performance. So, you know, it's the way they set up their charter with the state and the children whom they serve that makes a difference in how, of course, I agree with Ross that if you look, I did a little bit of research last year, and if you look across the state at socioeconomic status and same programs, they pretty much achieve at the same level. Does that make sense? If you have a school...
Apples to apples.
If you compare apples to apples, if you compare like kids to like kids, public schools tend to perform every bit as well as charter schools do, given the same population of youngsters. It's just that there are a couple, I think there's one in Texas, somebody told me the other day, that has been developed specifically for specific kinds of learning disabilities. So you could have a charter that would serve that particular population of kids. But I think that is not the norm.
I don't think we can